All right, today we're going to talk about the ACE structure, lesson number 6, which is an elaboration strategy called cause and effect. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to use the cause and effect strategy to elaborate your thinking. First, you need to understand what cause and effect actually mean. Cause and effect means that if something happens, something being the cause, other things will happen because of it. Those are called effects. So let's take a look here at our cause. A student never does her homework. Well, what could result from that? Well, her grades could go down, or she doesn't get to practice and absorb the lesson, or she could fail the class. And going on from there, all of these effects also have effects. If her grades go down, she gets punished. If she doesn't get to practice or absorb the lesson, she does poorly on the test. Or if she fails the class, she doesn't feel good about herself. And this could even go on even more, you guys. She's punished, so she doesn't get to go to her friend's birthday party. She does poorly on the test, so she fails the class. She doesn't feel good about herself, and she starts to have depression. These could keep going on and on and on. This is why we call it a cause and effect flow chart. So as you can see, using these cause and effect charts can really help to organize your own thinking. So if you're someone who struggles with sitting down and getting all of those beautiful thoughts out onto paper, this is definitely a great strategy for you because it helps you to organize your thinking. So let's discuss how we're going to use this concept to actually elaborate. How are you going to do this? Number one, you're always going to use a cause and effect chart to organize your thoughts. You guys, this is just like in math when you have a scratch piece of paper where you're writing down your work and then you put your final answer into the answer section. That's exactly what I'm asking you to do here. Use a separate sheet of paper to just jot down 3 little boxes, 1 cause and 2 effect boxes. And you're going to put your A into the cause box. So whatever your answer to the question is, put that in the cause box. Then you're going to push yourself and you're going to ask yourself, what are the effects of this claim or this issue? What are the effects of my A? Or you can ask yourself, what are the consequences of this answer? Or you can ask yourself, if this happens, then what? Or you might even ask yourself, why is it important that I have this answer? You're going to jot down the effects in the effect boxes. Then you're going to ace your response using one of these sentence starters to elaborate. One effect of blank is if blank, then due to blank, one impact blank might would. So let's go back to our trusty 3 little pigs story to show you an example. I had the question, how can you describe the 3rd little pig? After thinking about this question, I've decided I'm going to use a cause and effect chart. And so I've jotted down a cause and effects chart on a scratch piece of paper, and I have put my A as the cause. I would describe the 3rd little pig as smart. Now, because he is smart, what results does this cause? Or what effects are there? Well, he's smart, so he chooses to build his house from brick. Well, this also has an effect. Because he built his house from brick, he survives the big bad wolf's attacks. Now I'm going to put this into an ACE structure. I would describe the 3rd little pig as smart. In the story, he chooses to make his house out of bricks. One effect of this choice is that he was the only little pig to survive the wolf's attack. So you can see here, I've chosen to use the sentence starter, one effect is. And I said one effect of whatever it is I chose as my C, whatever it is I have as my evidence, I've put here. One effect of my evidence is that he was the only little pig to survive the wolf's attack. Now we're going to try. Should homework be counted towards a student's grades? Maybe you say yes, it should. So that goes into your cause box because that is your A. Homework should be counted as a student's grade. Well, one of what would result here is that students would be more motivated to do their work consistently. That means on a regular basis. This would be considered your C. One effect of this consistency would be that students get enough practice with the skills that they learn so that they understand the material better. This would be your E. So now we can take what we've put into our boxes here and write it in an ACE structure. Yes, I think homework should be counted towards a student's grade. One reason is that it will motivate students to do their homework consistently. One effect of consistency is that they get enough practice with the skill they learned that they are able to understand the material. Now we try it again. Should soda be allowed at school? Maybe you say, no, soda should not be allowed at school. So that goes into your cause box because it is your A. You can ask yourself, why is this important? Well, it's important because evidence shows that 1 can of soda has 5 teaspoons of sugar. Now, why is this information important? What could be the result of drinking so much soda and so much sugar? Too much sugar is the leading cause of obesity and diabetes among young people. So you can see by creating these boxes, we have organized our A, our C, and our E. Now we put it into a structure. No, I think soda should not be allowed in schools. According to research, 1 can of soda has 5 teaspoons of sugar. One impact this may have is providing more sugar to students who are at risk of developing obesity and diabetes. Let's try it again. Should students be allowed to bring cell phones to school? Maybe you say yes, students should be allowed to bring cell phones to school. So you write that in your cause box because it is your A, your answer. Now, what can they do with those phones? Well, they can use them for research. What is the effect of them being able to do research? They save time. Teachers don't have to pass out computers and students don't have to look things up in books. They can just grab their phones and use those to research. And what that does is it gives them more time to use that research either in their writing or in discussions. So now I put this together. I want you guys to do that, please, using these sentence starters. So the question is, should students be able to bring their cell phones to school? You need to answer now using these sentence starters. All right. Last but not least, should students recycle in school? Let's say, hopefully, we all say, yes, students should recycle in school. I want you to tell me, what would you put in the first effect box? Why should students recycle in school? Why is that important? Then, whatever you put here should dictate what you decide to put in your last effect box. This will effectively create your ACE answer to the question, should students recycle in school? Go ahead and put those together now into an ACE structure using these sentence starters.